Hey team, so today we're gonna talk about how to define and build your golden goal as a footballer. Okay, so what is this golden goal thing that we are referring to? Now, this is a key part of this whole puzzle. All right, so within this 90-day transformation, okay, and obviously even more than that, but we want to really or literally transform our performance in 90 days, okay, in different types of areas, not just talking football wise, but just as a whole. All right. So we need to talk about this golden goal, okay, this anchor that we need, okay. How do we stay motivated? How do we stay consistent? Is by having something to work towards. And we need to define it, okay. We need to find something that actually keeps us on the path or readjusting the path, if you will. Okay, so this is the golden goal, okay, your true North Star. Okay, and we need to define it for ourselves and build it for ourselves. So, for this example, all right, so my golden goal is to play Champions League matches and win a World Cup. All right, so let's let's put it out there. Okay, we can't think about impossibles, right? Obviously, yes, we got to be realistic and all that kind of stuff. But for right now, just let's just do the exercise. All right. Now, we need to define this. All right. We'll explain why and we'll go step by step. So, what is the golden goal? Your golden goal is your ultimate football dream. Okay. Playing in the Champions League, earning a national team cap or many, winning a scholarship, becoming a pro at your position, whatever. It's not just a wish, it's the North Star that gives meaning to your real or to your daily work. That's my North Star. Okay, so why does this matter? Because most footballers train without connecting today's effort to their long-term dream. Okay, that's why they burn out, they lose focus, or plateau. Now, in order for you to take your performance to the next level, okay, it's not going to be easy. The process is not easy. There's no magic pill. Now, you're gonna you're gonna face difficult times. It's not a matter of if you're gonna face them. You're gonna face difficult times. Okay, you're gonna go through some ups and downs. That's just life. Okay, you gotta realize that. You gotta embrace it. Now, what happens on those bad moments? Okay, maybe you're not getting enough playing time. Maybe you went through an injury, or so on and so forth. There's obstacles on the road. All right, so your golden goal is your true North Star. It just tells you why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Now, obviously, if we want to go even more further than that or more philosophical, your why, your purpose, why you're doing all of this. Now, obviously, I'm putting it on football terms, right? Because this is what this is all about. But I mean, you can go even further than that. Okay. So, my purpose, my why. All right. So, that's your golden goal. All right. So, having a golden goal builds clarity, direction, and motivation. Okay, evidence-based reason. Sports psychology research shows that setting clear long-term goals and breaking them down into smaller milestones boosts intrinsic motivation, consistency, and resiliency under pressure. Okay, good. So this component right here is key as well. Okay, breaking them down into smaller milestones. Yes, you got your big golden goal right here. It needs to scare you a bit, okay, in a sense as well. But you need to break them down into smaller pieces. And we're going to go on a different tutorial to talk about that as well so we can define that. Okay, define what are those pieces. Okay, but for right now, let's just work on first things first, defining that golden goal. Okay, so we write down your golden goal, be specific, play for my national team in the World Cup instead of just become a pro. Okay, make it personal. This is your vision, not what others expect. Because it's not about what my brother wants, what my friends want my, you know what I mean? Just this is your vision right at the top of your template. Okay. So by the way, you're gonna be getting a template for that. Just DM me and I'll send you a template for that. Okay. It just looks really nice right there. There's like a blank space that you can have it, put it on your phone, put it on your iPad, whatever. Okay, you can add pictures to it, makes it even more powerful. So step 4, reverse engineer the path. We talked about this a little bit. So break down the goal into steps, 5 years. Okay, what do you need to be? Okay, playing in the top academy. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying, okay, well, think big, yes, and just even scary. It's got to be scary. But let's say, for example, if you are 25 years old, okay, if you are not playing at a top academy or playing pro, then that dream is very, very difficult. Okay, very difficult. It's not. I'm not saying it's impossible, but sometimes it's not realistic for a lot of people. All right, just saying. All right, 3 years. What's realistic by then? Debut on my U20 squad 1 year from now. Immediate target. Become a starter at the club level. 90 days. Short sprint focus. Improve strength and speed. Like those are the little elements that will get you there. Obviously, if you're slow, really slow, and obviously to get to a certain level, you don't need to be Usain Bolt, right? But you need to have, at least a certain amount of max velocity, okay, that you're peaking with. Okay. Now, if you're only able to get, I don't know, 26 kilometers per hour and that's your top, well, it's going to be very difficult. So obviously there's many different things along the road, but that's why we need to, reverse engineer and bring it down to the present day, daily. What actions are aligned with those steps? So that's why we have other resources, like, for example, the AM/PM routines, the daily scheduler. We got the weekly structure. We got the season structure, templates. All those resources are just available. You can DM me, and I'll give them to you. But those are all the pieces that that fall together in order for you to create this path. All right. So, step 5, choose your 8 focus areas. Now, I was a little bit hesitant to talk about this for this video, but I'm just going to go over it really quick because this is part of, like I said, reverse engineering and identifying the different key areas to get to your golden goal. I mean, yes, it's great to define it and to have a clear picture and a vision of that. But at the same time, you need to have actions, okay, to get there. And we need to identify what are the areas that we need to focus on. And what I mean by areas, well, there's different areas, obviously, that we need to improve upon to become the type of athlete that we want to become. Okay. It's not just improving on our technical skills, this is one key category for sure, but there's other areas. So, for example, the tactical understanding, physical conditioning, mindset, nutrition, recovery, lifestyle habits, game IQ or football IQ. I mean, the educational category. I mean, there's many different things or many different areas that we need to account for and pay attention to in order for us to actually get closer and improve the probabilities of us getting to our desired goal. Okay. And this step 5 is inspired by the Harada method. Okay. So I'll go over it. I'll give you more context on a different video, which we talk about these key areas. We talk about the Harada method and all that. But for right now, we're just kind of going over it so you can have some priming before we actually get to that video. Step 6, define your 64 actions. 8 per focus area. So let's say, for example, for your technical skills, I mean, there's different types of elements. So dribbling, passing, etc. I mean, we define it, we specify it. I'm just kind of putting them in a very vague way. But yeah, example. Here's an example. Physical conditioning, sprint training twice a week, mobility every night, gym 3 times a week, etc., etc. All right. So step 7, review and adjust. Check your golden goal map weekly, okay, or monthly. Okay, just at least one time a week. Celebrate the small wins and adjust actions if something isn't working. And remember, consistency plus feedback equals growth. So with my high caliber clients, we do a meeting, a monthly meeting, usually remotely, okay, where we sit down and do a monthly review. And by the way, I do have another resource, the exact same sheet that I use to actually go through this checklist. All right. And ask questions like what went well, what didn't go well, what are the top wins that we get, what are the things that we need to do to move forward according to our KPIs, so on and so forth. Okay. So I'll show you that on a different video. But yeah, so why does this matter? Football is full of uncertainty, injuries, selection, results, just different types of events and circumstances that can get in the way, that will get in the way. But when you're anchored by your golden goal, every day becomes purposeful. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, identify if you do not have the, I call it the golden goal, right? But if you don't have that really anchored in that your why you're doing what you're doing, it becomes very difficult. You become inconsistent, okay? Because motivation only lasts for a certain time, okay? You don't depend on motivation, you depend on a system, okay? So this is what we build right now, okay? We build a system, okay, for us to improve our probabilities of getting to our goal. Obviously, there's so many different variables, so many different factors that depend on you getting there. Okay. But we are doing our best to improve the possibilities. Okay. Putting the balance on your favor. Okay. So having a system is one of the best ways to actually make improvements and sometimes even big leaps, okay, of improvements. Okay? Not all the results are the same, obviously, just want to say that. But like I said, having a system and a structure in place is a lot better than having nothing at all. Okay. So, all right, that's it. Keep going at it. Talk to you soon. Make sure you share this. If you like this resource, obviously send me a DM and we'll go from there. All right. Take care.